Hi, how are you? I hope you have a very nice day. I'm Aoife and I make YouTube videos about veganism, raw veganism, but to be honest, I just want to create videos that help people. So I want to share what helped me, and today's video is going to be different and very personal because I share my favorite books that really helped me and just changed my life. And I will get right into it. So the first book that I want to share you is, or just share about, is The 80-10-10 Diet by Dr. Douglas Graham. And I read this book over 1.5 years ago, and it just was absolutely mind-blowing. So it's a diet book and it's about raw food. So if you're interested in just fruit and fruit or fruitarian diet, a raw vegan diet, about veganism, and it's just very clarified a lot because it goes into a lot of details. And the 80-10 diet, most of you probably know already, but it's just that you get 80% of your calories from carbohydrates, 10% fat, and 10% protein. And yeah, and it's basically a very fruit-based diet. And I implemented this diet on my life, and it just changed my life completely, 100%. And it just affected my life in so many areas. So if you want something that changes your life, read this book, like 100%. And I really love it because it also gives you recipes, ideas, and it gives you interviews, and it gives you medical research. And yeah, I found it to be very, very life-changing. So if you want to change your life, read this book. The next book is one of my favorite books. It's The Great Gatsby. I'm from Germany, so I had to read it in English class, and I really loved it. Like, I read it before, but I didn't really understand it or get what it's about. And I also watched the movie, but I didn't really know what it's about. But once I understood some principles, and once I really informed, we did a lot of research on it, about, because our teacher was basically addicted to The Great Gatsby, and it was just so much interpretation that could be done on this The Great Gatsby, and just about the new rich, the old rich. And maybe a very short summary: the Great Gatsby is basically a guy who came from very, very poor family, and he created wealth. However, he sticks to the past and just can't let go of the past, and just always tries to repeat the past. And this is basically what destroys him. And it's so much more. It shows so much more about society, about people, about money, about wealth, and it's just super interesting. So, and it's also about, if you're interested in history, it's about the Roaring Twenties. So super interesting book, actually. The next book is You're a Baddest at Making Money. And this book is super interesting because I think a lot of people have a, in my opinion, wrong perception about money, that money is the root of all evil, or that you can't be happy with money. However, this book just really showed me that it's actually the wrong way, or the other way around. Like, you need money to be happy, and I completely agree, because money gives you so much opportunity and gives you so much freedom and possibilities, and you can have just an amazing life if you have money. And I think that some people say, well, if you have money, it's very bad for your character. However, I don't really think that it's true. I think that if you have a great character, you can just amplify it by having a lot of money. And the book also talks about just money flow, and talks about spirituality, and just believing in yourself. And it was really, really interesting to read. So I just really have to repeat it to read, because otherwise I will forget. But it's super interesting. And the very last one that I want to share in this video is one of my favorites. It's Calling in the One, and it's basically a love book, but it's a lot about spirituality, law of attraction, love. So if you're interested in one of those areas, definitely read this book. It's by Catherine Woodward Thomas, and it really changed my perception about love, because there are so many things like I don't have time for a boyfriend, or I'm not good enough for have a great boyfriend, or just a lot of things from your childhood that we want to recreate just some things. And it really just clarified a lot for me and made me believe again in love. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. And for me, it also goes into other areas that were very, very helpful. So these were the books that I can really recommend. So first, Calling in the One, then You're Baddest at Making Money, The Great Gatsby, and The 80% Zen Diet. They all changed my perception on how I look at the world a lot. And if you want to get the books, they're all on Amazon, I think. And I've also created some links where you can buy them in the description box. So if you maybe save some time with research, you can check them out. And I really recommend you to read them. Maybe get them, if you don't want to get them through my links, just get them second hand. Like, they're very cheap, and I think books are worth the money, because I think that people spend a lot of time and effort. For example, The Great Gatsby, I don't know how much time he invested in creating this book, because there's so much behind it, and I think that there's so much knowledge compromised in just a few pages. Like, people spend years, 10 years or 20 years for creating one book, and you can just read this one book in one day or something. So it's really interesting. However, if you found this video to be interesting or helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I would be very happy, and I wish you a wonderful day. Have a nice day. Goodbye. You're right, I will. So my life is in this bed.